If you weren't already disgusted with Washington, you will be after this. Spend crazy D.C. politicians have dug this country into a hole that we will never climb out of, nearly $30 trillion in debt. It would take almost 10 years of collecting taxes and spending nothing to make America debt-free. Think about how ridiculous that is. And rather than curb spending dramatically, the plan is to just spend more. And to do so requires some very clever ways to tax a nation that is already burdened with taxes. And with that comes the unrealized capital gains tax. Democrats are so desperate to continue barreling this country toward financial ruin, they've devised a scheme to tax wealth that doesn't even yet exist. Unrealized. That's what that means. They need money so bad, they want the profits from your stock or real estate investment before you even sell it. How horrifying is that? Our government's insatiable thirst for your money has gotten us to this point. Here's the Treasury Secretary trying to sell this dangerous and likely illegal plan.
I think what's under consideration is a proposal that Senator Wyden and the Senate Finance Committee have been looking at that would impose a tax on unrealized capital gains on liquid assets held by extremely wealthy individuals, billionaires. I wouldn't call that a wealth tax.
I would. The fact that Janet Yellen is out pushing a plan that is straight from the Liz Warren playbook tells you everything that you need to know about her. Former President Trump warned about Yellen politicizing the Federal Reserve and keeping rates artificially low to protect a weak Obama economy 5 years ago during the presidential debates with Hillary Clinton. Let's take a look back.
We have a Fed that's doing political things. This Janet Yellen of the Fed is doing political by keeping the interest rates at this level. And believe me, the day Obama goes off and he leaves and he goes out to the golf course for the rest of his life to play golf, when they raise interest rates, you're going to see some very bad things happen because the Fed is not doing their job. The Fed is being more political than Secretary Clinton.
Right now, Democrats are insisting they're only going after liquid assets like stocks. But even the New York Times has admitted this week that real estate could also be on the table here. Democrats also promising they're only going after billionaires, of which there are about 700 in this country. But what happens next year when they need more money for their next insane project? Of course, they'll widen the net. And in 25 years, unrealized capital gains taxes will be as commonplace as income tax in this country. And what would that look like? Well, as it stands right now, you only pay cap gains when you sell an investment like a stock or a real estate. If you sell after owning it for 1 year, you get a cap gains tax. For millions of Americans, their homes have increased in value dramatically during COVID-19. Let's say you have a $500,000 house. It's gone up to $750,000 in value. As it stands, if you sold that house, you'd pay cap gains on $250,000. Could be maybe $50,000, 40, 50 grand. But this plan from Oregon Senator Ron Wyden proposes taxing those assets each year, regardless of whether or not they've even been sold. So if we don't stop this madness now, nip it in the bud, imagine a world where a family with a $500,000 house and a couple kids in college, it shoots up in a bubble like we're in right now and is up to $750,000 in value. They have to pay taxes on that capital gain when they have no intention of ever selling that house. Hey, it's the IRS. You owe us 50 grand this year because we think your house is worth a lot more. What do? You don't have 50,000, what do? Assets, however, are not stable, as we know. Stocks go up and down all the time. Property values fluctuate, which is why it only makes sense to tax things upon the sale of it. But Washington is so pathetic and broken that that won't cut it any longer, we know. So what happens if you pay the unrealized cap gains in this futuristic world where Democrats do this to everybody, and then your stock goes down, or the 2008 housing collapse happens again? You just paid all those taxes because your house went way up and now it's way down. Does the IRS just send money back to millions of Americans? Imagine if this plan was in place 15 years ago. Potentially hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars they then have to send back to Americans. Well, they don't have that money. They've already spent it. They tax it and they spend it like they always do. So what would they do? I guess they just print more money and exacerbate our country's already horrific financial problems. And if you think we're crazy to worry about this taxation idea spreading to all Americans and not just to billionaires, you simply haven't watched history. In the meantime, one of the 700 people who would be affected initially by this, the world's richest man, Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk, tweeting in response to the certifiable fact that this tax will certainly eventually expand beyond billionaires, saying, quote, "Eventually, they run out of other people's money, and then they come for you." It starts with billionaires, and then they say, wow, we get a lot of money out of that. We could use more. Let's go for the millionaires. And then let's go for the people making $400K, which is who the Democrat Party is vilifying right now, right? Anybody making over $400K is now rich in this country. Any household making over $400K. How far does it go? Until they're vilifying everybody that's not on welfare? As for the reality of this tax, going after only the billionaires, it won't put much of a dent in the massive spending bills that Democrats are proposing, which is their biggest problem. They have a spending problem, not a revenue problem, and even Pelosi admits that.
Do you have an alternate way?
Yeah, we do, because we were ready to pay for 3.5.
Right.
So we certainly can pay for half of that.
And what is that alternate way? Is it a billionaire's tax? Is it a
Well, the
minimum
billionaire's
tax for corporations?
tax is, shall we say, has an appeal, but it doesn't produce that much money.
And if you believe them when they say that they have this all paid for, which they say every day to try and sell it to you, you're out of your mind. The idea that all of this is just going to be paid for, the idea that they're actually going to drum up the revenue that they expect from these plans, from an idea like this, the idea that billionaire money is not just going to move around and evade them is hysterical. So exactly why a tax idea like this will do nothing but expand, really, is because they're not going to get what they want. So it's going to have to come down, and it's going to be, oh, it's this level of income. They're going to get it. And then this level, and this level, and then it gets worse and worse and worse. This is what happens when you have a spending problem like we do. But the question remains on this subject at all: is this even legal to tax wealth that hasn't even been realized yet, unrealized capital gains? And it's a great question to ask Steve Forbes, chairman and editor-in-chief of Forbes Media, and a great financial mind, also the co-author of the book Reviving America. Sir, thank you for coming on.
Good to be with you. Thank you, Rob.
So yeah, my first question, is it legal to tax an unrealized gain?
No, the Constitution prohibits that, which is why when they enacted the income tax back in the 1890s, the Supreme Court said, no, it's unconstitutional. You want an income tax, you want to tax income, you have to pass an amendment. Years later, 1913, they did the 16th Amendment, which allows the income tax. So they're back at it again. They're trying to tax something that is not income. And I think the Supreme Court will ultimately throw it out. But really, Rob, they don't care. All they want is to put on paper, hey, we're balancing this thing, pretend. They want to have this massive expansion. They want more controls. And also the other agenda they have is they know if they pass this tax, and as you point out, it's going to expand, like the alternative minimum tax went from 200 people to millions of people.
Yeah.
Federal income tax, a handful of people, of tens of millions of people. What they want to do here is intimidate you. They'll go after middle-class people. You don't have a bunch of accountants and lawyers to defend you like Jeff Bezos has. And
Right.
they say, hey, Rob, pay $500, will go away. Because these agents know they're judged by how much money they raise. You know you can't pay a lot of legal fees. So say, oh, get them out of my hair. I'll pay the $500 or $1,000 fine.
And I think you make a great point. The idea is to just try and convince people that this will get paid for, and it's not. And they don't care. They don't care if it drums up more debt. That's not the point at all. They just want to give you, they want Biden to be out there to be able to say, it costs nothing. It costs nothing. Like he's been whispering for the last 3 weeks. It's all BS, right?
Absolutely. And they know it's not going to work, but it's all about political power. It's about control and ultimately intimidation. Just as they're trying to do with parents, school boards. You want to get in the crosshairs of the FBI and federal prosecutors? No. So they're trying to muzzle you. Same thing with this new tax. The IRS can look at everything you do. You know, the IRS was accused, they're trying to pass this thing to expand the powers of the IRS. With this tax, they don't have to do it. They can go after anyone and say, we want to see what your real wealth is. What did you buy? What do you own? We got to come into your house. Got to go in your basement. Maybe you have a Rembrandt down there that we don't know about.
It's unbelievable. You know, it's a really scary time. You know, we talk a lot on this show about the debt. And it's horrifying. I mean, when you look at that number, getting up close to $30 trillion, this is never going to get resolved, is it? And I guess my question to you is, at what point does does it become real? Because right now it's not real. Right now we all just act like it's not there, and that works. At some point it has to become real, right?
Well, it becomes real, or what you might say unreal, is when people lose confidence in the dollar. You know, the Federal Reserve has been using games to hide $1.5 trillion that's money that it's printed up. When that dam breaks, if they pass some of these crazy spending bills, you're going to get the kind of monetary inflation that we had in the 1970s. And that's going to be pretty ugly. So you're going to get stagnating economy and rising prices.
Don't we already have that?
Combination. Yeah, but this is just an hors d'oeuvre of what can come. Just look what happened in the 70s, and if Reagan hadn't come along, it would have been even worse in the 1980s.
Sheesh. That is scary stuff. Steve Forbes, perfect person to talk to about this kind of stuff. Sir, thank you so much for taking the time. Good to see you.
Good to be with you. Let's keep fighting this.
I love it. Absolutely. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, I'm Rob Schmitt. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.